Hi everybody, welcome to today's special guest on my channel. I always say, who loves Maria Callas in the opera world? And everybody does. We all have fond memories of her. I grew up with her. She was one of those singers alongside Shirley Bassey I could never really appreciate. And then when I got older and I started to get into Maria Callas's music and lyrical meanings of some of the songs, I realized what a powerful woman she was in the field of opera. A legendary operatic singer she is, but at the same time, she's one of the most famous and favorite singers within the opera world, and still today adorned by millions and millions of people watching her videos. That is proof enough. From that collection, that vast collection this woman has, I have selected Carmen because it's one of the most famous. I wanted to pick a song prior to Christmas 2022 that was pretty special, that didn't feel Christmassy but felt extra special and warm and deserving of being played. No matter how many times people have viewed it, they love this particular version. It is from Bizet's Haberana, and it was live in Hamburg in 1962. But the background to the man himself and the opera is this. In 1872, while in Paris, France, Georges Bizet was commissioned by the Opéra Comique to write a full-length opera despite the lukewarm 11-performance run of his one-act opera Damila at the same theatre, with a libretto by Henry Millac and Ludovic Halvili based on the novel of the same title by author Prosper Mérimée. Bizet's full-length opera was called Carmen. The opera took place in Seville, Spain during the mid-19th century. The Habanera, arguably Carmen's most famous aria. An aria, for everybody, just to let you know, means a melody or tune, accompanied elaborate melody, sung as part of an opera by a single voice, which is what you will hear Maria Callas do with the Carmen role in this, taken from this particular opera. So we continue. This musical style originated in Cuba's capital Havana in the late 19th century, and it spread throughout the Spanish colonies like wildfire. It captivated European composers, including Bizet, who intelligently incorporated the style of music within his opera. The context of opera is this. The Habanera, or L'amour est aussi rebelle, is sung by Carmen in the opera's first act, after she and the other women workers exit the cigarette factory and gather in the town square. Groups of soldiers already in the square begin flirting with the women, including Carmen. They ask her specially when she will love them, and she replies with this special tune that she sings, which you will hear live from Hamburg in 1962. The background to it as well that I found is this little snippet I call them, and it's this. It's also a synopsis. Again, I'm going to repeat a few things. It is Carmen, a worker from the cigarette factory. Again, she steps out into the square. She's being flirted by the men, and she sings this particular. For her, love is a game. L'amour est aussi rebelle. With this song, L'amour est aussi rebelle, Bizet painted a true character portrait of the role of Carmen. Seldom has one of the greatest roles of opera literature been defined by only one song. As it was Carmen with the Habanera, it became that. The piece starts with the famous rhythm of that, and I've given you the background to the Spanish colonies, and it spread like wildfire of the Habanera, and keeps steady throughout this melodic tune. This song shows the character of Carmen, for her love is a game with dangers inherent to it. It starts with the piano, and tone should be elegant and warm, and it should never convey vulgarity. The singers whomever sings this song have to master the constant change of the piano, forte, and mezzo forte in a seductive way. Never should Carmen sound dominant. I'm going to let you listen. I've got the lyrics in front of me. It's quite lengthy. It is, just to let you know, just under 6 minutes long. But it's one of the most dramatic pieces in opera, and I feel it's just deserving to be aired on my channel, celebrating my first successful year as a music reactor on YouTube. Take it away, Maria Callas. Absolutely bravo, bravo, and I do applaud her. Even in 2022, that sounds just as spectacular as it did way back in Hamburg in 62. Time stands still for this woman simply because, not for the adoration, but it's the seductiveness of her. It was a long intro, but had you noticed how, like an actor, she became involved beforehand with building herself up as the character of Carmen, getting into the role of imagining she was in the Prado, the men were around her. She imagined all of that, and then she delivered vocally with the operatic um, Carmen from Bizet's Hamburger. And it's just one of those things that this woman was able to do, be the actress, be the performer, be this seductive singer, be the person that makes everything stand still when she opens her mouth and the first vocal chords come out. She's just magnetically incredible, and I love her. And thank you for being one of the people that I wanted to celebrate with my subscribers around the world. In a big thank you, in a different Christmassy way, doing it classically through opera songs or live version songs. I've done Lara Fabian and Adagio, as I said, and I'm just done Maria, and I'm also incorporating into that group of saying thank you to my subscribers by doing Andrea Bocelli. I just want to do something classical, distinguished, and different. So again, thank you, Maria. Let's get into the lyrics themselves. I want to keep an eye on the time check, and we'll go through them quickly, so I don't keep all of you people up too long, as they say, or away from what you were doing. English translation of Habanera. Love is a rebellious bird it begins that nobody can tame, and you call him quite in vain, if it suits him not to come. Nothing helps, neither threat nor prayer. One man talks well, the other's mum. It's the other one that I prefer. He's silent, but I like his looks. So she's in the square, in the opera. You can imagine her on the stage, all the men around her, and she's singing this to them. And everyone's heckling her and saying, ooh, and nudging each other. And the one that admires her beauty and her strength of character is the silent one. It begins, love, it proceeds, love, love, love. Love is a gypsy's child, it continues. It never, ever has known a law. Love me not, then I love you. If I love you, you'd best beware, etc. And you see her getting into, you can imagine her on stage, surrounded with the actors, singing that in the Bizet opera, and singing it in such a way that she would be more in character form, dress-wise. She's just so visual in her deliverance of any song, and that's what makes her extra special. And she's singing to the crowd, look at me, look through me, say what you want, but I've caught the attention. But even though he's silent, he needs to be aware. She continues, the bird you thought you'd caught beats its wings and flew away. Love stays away. You wait and wait. When least expected, there it is. And it's very true, like the impression of you catch a bird, but it manages to fly away. It's like her love, when people thought they got Carmen, when people thought they had her in the palm of her hand, previous lovers, she was like the bird that fluttered away, but only came back if she chose to. She was already empowered with her own self-awareness, self of beauty, self of strength, everything. And there was nobody going to hold her, fluttering and being seduced by somebody else's overpowering ways, as we're going to find out now. Around you, swift, so swift, it comes and goes and then returns. You think you hold it fast, but it flees. You think you're free, it holds you fast. So she admits what love does. that if she's overpowered by the love of a man, even this silent man, that she has noticed, even though she builds her courage up to say, be aware, at the same time she knows that when she loves hard, and she falls for that person hard, and it holds her. And that's kind of what the juxtaposition she's in between the desire to show strength in a crowd of guys admiring her, heckling her in the square and singing this song to them. But at the same time, she's got a heartbeat and she has a soft spot. And that is, the silent man could be the one that she just gives everything to, and she's unable to fly away. So it finishes. Love, 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 love. Love is a gypsy's child. It has never ever known a law. Love me not, then I love you. If I love you, you'd best beware. So she goes back to reinforcing and building herself up to say to everybody, and the silent one, if you love me, I will love you hard. But I'll still be on my guard, and I'll find a way to fly away. So that's my interpretation of the lyrics. This video I'll summarize. Maria Callas is to the Habanera as Luciano Pavarotti was to Nessun Dorma. Today, the most powerful performances of the most famous songs within opera are measured against Maria Callas's performances. And that is fact. Thank you for listening, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the biography, the song from Maria Callas, and the information I've given you. If so, don't forget to like and comment, and I'd love you to subscribe to my ever-growing channel. If I don't see you, I wish you happy Christmas 2022, and if you only see this in the new year of 2023, may 2023 be a prosperous year of love and hugs and warmth for all of you. Take care.